Hey guys, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I really love scraps. I first started playing them in 2010 when they first came out. My old channel has like 8 videos on scraps. It was like the only deck that I really just like enjoyed and wanted to play. And then whenever we got Tengu and Orthos, I made more videos when we had Granul. This deck with Granul and Tengu was so much fun. It was a different time then, but as the game evolves, so will the scraps. So this is going to be a 2014 scrap deck. Until we get factory. This is not going to be a factory build. I do have factories proxied, and I have been testing them. But this is going to be what you can play until, you get, if you're going to start picking up scraps and you want to play factory eventually, but you want to play the deck, kind of get used to the plays before everything comes out. You can play this build. This is the one I'm personally using right now, and until factory comes out. So let's go over the deck real quick. Scrap Chimera. Whenever it's normal summoned, you can get a Scrap Tuner out of your graveyard and special summon it. Normally Beast, which would give you a free rank 4 XYZ, or more importantly, a Scrap Dragon, as it is your bread and butter of a scrap deck. So we are going to run 3 of those. 1700 attack is also not too shabby. We're running 3 of the Beast, your main target for Chimera, and if you open with like Beast and Scrapstorm, which we'll talk about later, it pretty much sets your graveyard up for the game. With these two constantly getting each other back, ideally. Now, this next card is one that falls in and out of favor with me all the time. It's Scrap Golem. It's a 5-star, and once we get Scrap Factory, this card's going to be amazing, because you can special summon Golem out of your deck when a Scrap card's destroyed, and then he can just freely get stuff. But as of right now, he's a normal summon. And best used if he's in the graveyard. Whenever your Scrap Dragon dies, you get back a Golem. You use Golem's effect that once returned, special summon a non-synchro scrap monster from the graveyard. So you just get like a beast or a goblin, and either go into 8 here or 9 here. Scrap Twin being the 9 you would go for. So I am playing 1 currently, but that may change. And I'll talk about some of the cards you can maybe put in its place later. And then I am running the 1 Goblin because I am running the 1 Golem. Goblin's pretty cool. He can't be destroyed by battle, and then when he's face up on the field and he gets attacked, after that battle phase, he destroys himself by a scrap effect and goes to the graveyard, and then you can get out, he has the same effect as Beast, as you can pull a scrap card out of the graveyard and add it to your hands. So we are just running 1 because we do run the Golem. 2 Effect Veilers. I can't tell you how great Effect Veiler is. Today playing, I Veilered Gearga Armors, Gigantes, Agent Earth, Agent Venus, anything you could, any and everything you can think of. It's just doing lots of work right now. Wolfbarks as well, just great right now. All of the meta decks you can pretty much hit at least 1 card in. Spell books, you can hit their Blue Boy, their Priestess, and Gearga, like I said, the Gigantes, any of the Karakuri Synchros, the Gearga Armor, Fire Fist, Wolfbark, and, Bear, other things. Just a ton of things. It's amazingly good, and actually won a game today because all I had was, like, at a certain part of the game, all I had was 2 Veilers in the graveyard, and I think I had, like, 1 Beast, and a Chimera, and I had no real plays, so I Redoxed by removing Beast and Chimera, and I normal summoned a Veiler and went until a level 8 play, so that actually won me the game. I'm running 2 Evilswarm Thunderbirds. Some people may be looking at this going, what the hell are you doing, dude? And sometimes I ask that myself, but the way I'm looking at it is what scraps really lack, other than Chimera, is a good non-tuner monster to tune with. And this card fields 2 roles. First and foremost, it's an annoying card. It gets around a lot of things, allows you to play a certain way. You can target it with your Scrap Dragon, chain its effect to being targeted, and you pretty much get a free pop, even though it'll come back around at your next turn. But it's still a decent play there. But mainly, I need a normal summon monster that'll stick around to the next turn, so if I don't draw the Chimera, I can just synchro with the Beast and go from there. Also, when it comes back to the field, it's a 1950 beat stick, getting over some of the more important cards right now. So we are going to run 2 of those. And you could, run 1 if you really want to. Next is really an MVP, and a lot of people have forgotten about this card. Rai-Oh. Just everyone knows what Rai-Oh does. I am running one. And then this is another tech card that I've fallen in love with, especially this format. Is you can call them Gigantes, I'm not sure. But you special summon him. You can only special summon by removing an Earth from your graveyard, which is obviously easy in Scraps. He's got 1900 attack, which is nothing to scoff at. But whenever he's destroyed by battle, he is a heavy storm. Now, why is that good? Well, everyone's setting everything, setting a ton of back row, and not worrying about it. So today I was playing against Fire Fist, and the guy misplayed. I didn't actually ram into it, but he summoned his monster, and went in and rammed this without reading it, and it hit all his back row. Now that's not always how it's going to work. Most of the time, people actually read the card, but you can also just ram it in against Constellars, Evilswarm, Djinns, and you're going to take out all of their back row because a lot of them don't run the protection for it. So, additionally, he's a free special summon. If you have the beast, you have the Gigantes, you're moving old Chimera, even an old Scrap Dragon in some cases I'll do. Special summon him out, put out the beast, sink, you have your level 8s. Also, if you have a Scrap Dragon, you've already normal summoned, you can special summon using the Scrap Dragon food. He's actually been really versatile, and every time I've drawn him in my hand, I've made use of him either as a beat stick, a field clear, Scrap Dragon food, or a non-tuner. So I do like one of those. And then one Redox, Earth support. Obviously, great play is if you have a dead Golem in your hand, you can pitch this card and Golem if you have another Earth. Special summon the Golem with Redox's effect. Use that Golem to special summon out another Scrap and go from there. I sync him with Beast to make Star Eater. Sync him with Veilers to make level 8 plays. And he's just a good card. There was a guy I was playing today who was running a skill drain deck, and I just special summoned him out there, and he sat there with 3k defense, and he didn't bounce back as a skill drain. It's kind of nice. 3 Scrapstorm. Kind of mandatory in Scrap, so I have a face-up Scrap. I target that Scrap, send the Scrap card to my graveyard, draw 1 card, then that Scrap monster gets destroyed, and if it's a Goblin or a Beast, you can then add a Scrap monster from your graveyard to your hand just by the Scrap destruction effect. Later on, when Factory's around, it'll proc Factory's effect. Just good stuff. Next, because we do need good starting hands, including Beast and Scrapstorm, Rai-Oh, things like that, we do need to run the 3 dualities. We're not special summoning on our first turn, ever. That's pretty hard to actually do, unless you've got like a Redox God Hand and a Scrapstorm, and you really just want to go all out. You don't need a special summon on your first turn. That's actually one bad thing about Scraps, is they lack a very impressive turn 1. You do kind of have to build up to it, and then you just can gain control. But we are going to run the 3 dualities. Great card. You do need to dig for the pieces that you're missing. If you have a Scrapstorm, you need to be able to dig for the tuner or the actual Scrapyard. We are running 2 Scrapyards. I would only run 1 if you don't run the Goblin. You don't really need any more than that. You do run the dualities. You can send the tuners with your Scrapstorms, but you do want to open with a Beast if you can, so we are going to run the 2 in the main deck. I'll usually side out 1 because I'll usually side out the Golem and the Goblin as well. 2 MSTs, siding into a 3rd. 1 Forbidden Lance. I may kick this up to 2. Our normal summon's really important, guys. And the more I think about it, the more I think about bumping this up. So that may be a card that changes, but as of right now, it's at 1. 1 Mind Control. We are running tuners. And, the ability to Mind Control one of your opponent's monsters, pop it with our Scrap Dragon, then pop one of their cards. It's a great way to kind of demoralize your opponent. But mainly what I do is, I'll normal summon my tuner to see if that summon's okay, because a lot of times people won't want to do anything just to a Beast, because you can chain your Scrapstorm and make them kind of pretty much lose a card. And then I just Mind Control and I go into the play I was going to do anyway. So at least I've gotten rid of that card, and I don't just Mind Control then normal summon my Beast and lose it to some shit. So Mind Control's great. Book of Moon and Dark Hole. The trap lineup's pretty interesting. We do run double Call. Call the Haunted on a Scrap Dragon's amazing. Call the Haunted on a Golem's amazing. Call the Haunted on any big monster, any important monster. It's just good. And we are going to run 2. Double Fiendish Chain. Again, these continuous traps, sometimes they fizzle out and they're just left in the field, but we can use them as Scrap Dragon food. Double Mirror Force. I wasn't running Mirror Force for a while, but you do want to run it, even though when I was playing today, it didn't come into... It kept on not being the best play at the time, sadly. I always wish it was something else, so I may cut this to 1 and use that other spot for something else. I am maining 1 Royal Decree. Now let me explain this, because I am running 11 traps. Royal Decree is like an on and off switch. I can turn it on, make my scrap play, and then use it as actual fodder for my Scrap Dragon, and then unlock the rest of my traps. So you blanket the field with Decree Negation, make your play, get your dragon out there, and now you can pop it to turn back on the back row whenever you're ready. So I am running 1 and siding into a 2nd, and this card was MVP today. It was great. 1 against Constellars because of it. 1 against... I turned off 2 Gears with it. Just a good card. Bottomless, Compulsory, Torrential, and Solemn Warning. And since I did play this deck, pretty thoroughly today, I'll actually go through my extra deck. A lot of times I don't, or my side deck, I actually don't normally do that. I do have 2 DNA surgeries. I sided this in quite a bit today against Boulders, against what was the other deck I sided it in for today? Boulders, Spellbooks, and there was something else. I can't even think of it right now. But pretty much it changes the type of the monster that's on the field. So if it's Boulders, you don't want them to be Beast Warriors anymore. You can turn them into dragons, which is what I always do. I just turn things into dragons. If I did have room in my extra deck, I could turn them into dinosaurs and go into Logi and Dolka. But we are playing 2 of those. It really disrupts those 2 decks because they require a type on the field. What is that 3rd deck that I sided in for today? I can't even think. Someone comment below. I'm sure you can figure out what it was. 2 Imperial Iron Wall. Anytime I play against a guy that's going to side into Macro or Defissure or side into Smog, I need to have this card out there because I need my tuners in the graveyard. I just do. Now, that's not the main reason I'm siding this. The main reason is because it hurts Boulders, and Boulders are hard to beat. So I do side a lot of cards for them. Dust Tornado and MST, the 3rd MST, and another Dust Tornado. Side these in pretty much every single game. Prohibition, if I don't really know what else to side in, I'll side in Prohibition if there's a card that really needs to be hit. Like, for example, today, against Boulders, I called Yamato. I held him off for a couple turns, but he ended up MSTing it, so that didn't matter too much. Another MVP card, and an on and off switch, and I'll actually put these 2 together. Fossil Dino, once you establish your field with your Scrap Dragon, and you have a Fossil Dino there, there's not a lot people can do to get around Scrap Dragon. And, if you need to special summon again, of course, then you can pop your own Fossil Dino or your own Vanity's Emptyness to be able to special summon again. Also, it's just setting Fossil Dino. Won me a game today. The guy went off and, thought he had game. And it was like one of those things where he goes attack, and then attack game. And I was like, flipped it over first, and he lost all of his 3 X and Y Z's that he had on this field. So, we are running those 2 cards. Vanity's Emptyness is something I added last minute. I had Goes and Match in there, but I was asked, why are you really playing Goes and Match? And I didn't have a great answer for it, so I was like, you know what, we'll just go into Vanity's Emptyness. Anything that's spamming special summons, I sided this in for, so both of those cards in for. 2 DD Crows, and if I could cut anything, it might be the DD Crows, because I never felt the need to really put them in. I guess you could put them in against Boulders, but I also side in the Imperial Iron Walls, so I'm not sure what I would really put them in for. They were left over from when I play at my locals. There's a lot of Dark World players, and I like removing Graphas, and good for like plants and stuff, but I may cut these and put in debunks because I lost to Honest and Bujingi Crane all day today. I didn't lose, but they dropped them all day on me today, and I didn't really have an answer, so those may become debunks. And then the 2nd Royal Decree. And now we will go into the extra deck. And there's only a couple changes I'd probably make to my extra deck, and I'll go over those in a minute. This is probably out of order. 1, 2, and 3 Scrap Dragons. All supers. That really makes me sick. My friend has 2 ultimates for steads, and I want to get 3 of them. But I am running 3 Scrap Dragons because it scraps. 1 Stardust Dragon because you obviously can make them with any of your non-Chimera level 4s and Beast, and then Goblin and Golem together as well. 1 Utopia, 1 Maestroke. Utopia will probably get cut for Exit Tonight. Actually, maybe not Utopia, but Maestroke will always stay. 1 Scrap Archfiend because Chimera plus Goblin equals Scrap Archfiend. 1 Star Eater. I won games today with Star Eater. Goblin plus 1 of my level 8s makes Star Eater. And then, more importantly, Redox plus Beast, which is the play you'll see the most, makes Star Eater. And Star Eater at a certain point in the game is nearly unkillable if you get to that point. So you want to have the option to make him, and I do make him in this deck. Crimson Blader. I didn't make him at all today, sadly. Wasn't anything I really felt the need to put him in for. Catastor, didn't make him today. Scrap Twin. Scrap Twin's going to be amazing once Factory is out. But for right now, if you're playing Golem, you have to play him because Golem plus Beast equals Scrap Twin. And you can bounce 2 monsters. And if they're special summoned from the extra deck, they go back to the extra deck when they're gone. I didn't make him once today either, which is kind of sad, but it's because I was siding Golem out so much. I never made him game 1, I guess. 1 Diamond Dyer can obviously be replaced, but you do run Beasts to use his effect with, so you don't always have to just pop himself. So there may be a situation where you want to make him, but I haven't made him before. Cowboy, make him all the time for game. It's usually Chimera, get Scrap Beast, attack, and then Cowboy for game. It happened 2 or 3 times today. I am playing 1 Blackship of Corn, and then 1 Felgrand in case I do run into the situation where maybe I mind control a level 8 on their side and I have 1 on mine, and Felgrand's the answer. Sometimes Felgrand's the answer. Didn't make him today, didn't make him today, didn't make him today. So, I mean, whenever I get Exit Tonight and the Shark Knight or Arc Knight, these cards will probably be the ones that go, 2 of the 3 of them. So there is that. And now, I mean, that's the deck profile. I'll run backwards through everything so you guys can just see it from one last time. I love Scraps. It's a deck that I always end up going back to, and the only reason I got away from it this last time is because I thought I was done with Yu-Gi-Oh! And like most of you, you've probably quit Yu-Gi-Oh! At one point in your life or a couple points in your life, and you always come back, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm back in Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm playing Scraps, and I'm really excited about Factory, though the deck will change quite a bit. I like playing Scraps like this because you grind it out. When you play Factory, it's going to be a lot more of an offensive deck, which may appeal to more people. I'm just worried about dead golems in my hand, so I'll have to find a way to deal with that. The side deck. Again, the crows will probably turn into debunks, so that's the only change I can really think of right now. But they may stay, I don't even know. They may stay. And then the extra. Now I just want to talk about a few cards that I was playing and actually cut a few days before the tournament. Now, instead of the double, wow, this football game on TV is crazy. Instead of the double, you know, Evilswarm Thunderbirds and the Rai-Oh and the Gigantes, for a while I was actually running a Trap Chicks line and involved 3 Murmaleos, my Bottomless Trap Hole, and Trap Chicks Trap Hole all on the main, and it was actually really good for a couple reasons. One, it's an Earth. Another, it's a level 4 it replaces itself when it's summoned. Also, I mean, if you're getting protection when it's summoned, you're going to have it for next turn when your turn comes back around. It also enabled me to side into Void Trap Hole without having to worry about it, and it has one more cool thing. When it's special summoned with Redox or Call the Haunted or any way, it comes out and it pops a card on the field, and that's a great thing. And I did like the deck that way, but I elected to put in the Thunderbirds and the what was the other card? And the Gigantes. And the Gigantes is something I'll always keep, and so is the Rai-Oh. The Thunderbirds I might end up cutting, maybe putting 2 of these guys back in, but then I had to have to find room in my traps. Maybe cutting the Mirror Forces again. I haven't decided. But that is another way to run this. You can call it scrap tricks, but there's spots at the end of your deck that you can pretty much do whatever you want with. You can run Cyber Dragon if you want to run more goblins, you know. Just these cards. I mean, you got to play what you want. And I've really been enjoying these cards. Thunderbird, actually, it sounds like I don't like it right now, but I really do like that card. And then this guy. You guys may be wondering, why are you not playing Orthos? Well, Orthos, I think, until Factory comes out, just isn't worth it. Back when it could proc Granul's effect, and, you know, there were other things you could do with it, it was a little bit better. And I say other things, but I really just mean when Granul was around and I wanted to proc my Granul. It was better. But right now, you don't really need it. It requires a Scrap to be on the field to special summon itself, then it can destroy a Scrap on the field. So ideally, you'll have like a Scrap Dragon that you just made, that you can special it, and it can destroy itself, and you can get a Chimera back to your hand or something like that. But its effect is really going to kick in when Factory comes out, and it's going to be a free destruction. Say you open, you know, Scrapyard, Goblin, and Scrapyard and Goblin. You can go Scrapyard for Orthos, normal Goblin, play Factory, special Orthos, pop Goblin, special Golem, use Golem's effect, special Goblin again. You know, there's plays that can be made with it, and I am going to run one in my deck. Problem is the card has skyrocketed with the hype of Scrap Factory, so I don't think you can pick one up for under $10 anymore. Scrap Twin Dragon's doing the same thing. It was $2 or $3 the other day when I ordered them. Now they're 5+, so just keep an eye out for that. Sorry I kind of rambled on in this video, but I really like scraps, so you have to bear with me on that. But see you guys next time, hopefully. Also, one more thing, if you made it to this part of the video, tell me if you like it when I lay out the cards, when I actually pick up the cards and I have them in my possession, or would you rather me do like 5-minute videos on like Dueling Network where I'm just using my mouse pointer to on the screen? I feel like this is a more personal thing, but at the same time I can understand that you guys don't want to listen to me for 22 minutes and 17 seconds, which is what we're at now. So I really appreciate you guys. Keep an eye out for my Scrap Factory builds. I do have the proxies, I do have the cards to make the deck. I'm still just trying to test to find out what's the best mesh of cards. So thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe and like. I'm never going to beg you to click an ad or do anything like that, but if you feel so inclined, this is not what I do for a living like some other Yu-Gi tubers. That's why I'm not that popular. I don't put that much time into it like I used to, and maybe my content's not the best. But if you like the video, go ahead and like it. If not, you know, you can hit that dislike button, but I prefer you didn't. And I appreciate you guys, and then I'll see you guys next time.